Okay, so let's get started on our first class. Uh,
Okay.
I'm Chris, and what's your name?
My name is Ugen,
Ergin.
and yeah, Ugen. You can call me like Ugen Nima. Which one is convenient for you? Yeah, Ugen or Nima?
Well, both are okay. How do people normally address you when they see you in the street and they call you? What do they say?
Normal they call me Ugen.
Ergin. Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll go with Ergin, and you have a dog there.
Yes, yes. I have two dogs with me.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
And where are you from, Ergin?
Mm. Sorry.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bhutan. Did you ever heard about Bhutan?
Bhutan. I have heard of Bhutan. Where is
Okay.
Bhutan, though?
Bhutan actually is in between India and China. So
Okay.
India lies India lies south and China at the north. So we are like a sandwich in between two giant countries.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, and how do you spell Bhutan? Is it BH or BU?
Bhutan.
TAN. Okay. All right. Bhutan. Okay. And what do you do, Ergen?
Actually, now till April 2018, I used to be like a in I was working in the tourism sectors.
Hmm.
So sometimes I used to go for as a guide also, but because of pandemic, we don't have any like
Hmm.
tourism tourists in Bhutan, and as you know, everybody in the world because of pandemic, so
Sure. Sure.
it's all affected. So
Hmm.
I'm just staying
Hmm.
at home right now, and then I'm just staying with my families right now to giving
Okay.
them a time.
And so you were working specifically as a tour guide, or you were doing other things in the tourism industry as well?
Uh, Actually, till 2018, yes, I was working as a tour guide, and from
Hmm.
2018, I just started my business,
Hmm.
tourism business, and then yes, from 2013 it was okay, but 2020 it was affected, badly
Okay.
affected because of COVID pandemic.
Sure. Sure.
So
Sure.
I don't have any other works, but maybe like from next year the tourism may come back. So I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for the tourism to come back now. Yeah.
And are there many restrictions for people to visit Bhutan in terms of coming in?
You mean the tourist to get in Bhutan, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, yes, we do it because of COVID-19, our
Hmm.
government had already stopped it getting the tourists. If they want to come, they have to be in quarantine for. If they are vaccinated, they have to be for 2 weeks in quarantine.
Okay.
If not, then they have to be like 21 days in quarantine.
21
This is a
days.
mandatory.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay. And do they have testing when they're in quarantine as well?
Yes, before they get inside Bhutan, they have to get vaccinated. They have to get RT-PCR checkup for before 72 hours.
Hmm.
72 hours. Before
Hmm.
72 hours, they get inside Bhutan. They have to test the RT-PCR checkup,
Okay. So
and
they
then
need that 72 hours before
yes,
arriving, is
yes,
it? Okay.
yes.
Okay. And then when they arrive, they have to do other tests?
When they arrive here, yeah, they have to do the test, same test, RT-PCR or antigen or something, right? So they have to
Okay.
do, and then our government will take all the clients. They will
Okay.
send the vehicle, and then they will take to the hotels, and if they are vaccinated, they'll keep in that hotel for 2 weeks, and after
Okay.
that, then we have to make some itinerary for them. So,
Okay.
but they are not allowed to go in public place.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay,
they're not allowed to go in
either
any
they,
public places. Hmm.
yes, yes. Of course, they are, but there is some restriction. So if they want to go
Hmm.
for the Buddhist temple, and we
Hmm.
have to make a time. We have to make a time for them. And
Hmm.
either they are allowed to do the tracking.
Hmm.
So this are restrictions. So I think more than that, I don't think so that they're allowed to go and roam everywhere, because of the COVID pandemic.
Okay. The
Yeah.
line dropped out there for a second, but you were saying they're on a tracking application. Is it a tracking app?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So those who are interested to go for trekking, of course, they can do it. Yes.
Sure. Sure. Okay. So Ergen, tell me about Bhutan. Are you in the capital or in another city?
Yes, I'm in the capital city of Bhutan,
And what is the capital?
Thimphu.
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 Phu. Yes,
THIMPHU.
Phu.
Okay.
Thimphu. Yes, yes.
Temple. Okay. Okay. And what do people when they come and go on your tours? What do they experience?
Firstly, when they come to Bhutan, mostly they want to know about like a GNH, gross national happiness. So as you know, the
Okay.
Bhutan is considered as one of the country in the world as a GNH. So mostly we focus on the GNH,
Okay.
and then like after that the culture also, the Bhutanese culture. We protected our culture since from like centuries. So even the environment.
Hmm.
So since our constitution says that, like in near future also, our forest should be like 62% should be there. Right now
In the
it's like some in near future also, yeah. Right
right.
now we have
Okay.
72% covered by the forest, Bhutan, and trees
Wow.
everywhere, trees in the forest, yeah.
Okay. I have no idea of the statistics, but I imagine that would be probably one of the highest in the world
Can you hear
in
me,
terms of.
please?
I was going to say I imagine that's one of the highest in the world for that sort of percentage of natural environment in a country.
Oh yes, yes, it's true. Yes, yes,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
even we are considered as a carbon negative.
As a what? Sorry,
Carbon negative.
carbon negative. Okay, well,
Yes,
that makes
yes,
sense. That would yes,
yes.
that would make sense. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So like,
and when you take people, do you take them into more natural places or to more um, man-made places like buildings and monuments, temples, those sorts of things?
both, both actually, yes.
Mhm.
Tourists when they come here, they're interested on our culture. So
They're
sometimes we
interested in
take
the
to
culture. Okay.
culture, yes, and then we take them to the temples, natural, and when we take them to natural, we always hike. We do the hiking,
Hmm.
for like
Hmm.
2-3 hours natural side, and
Okay.
then and a lot of birds, around like 700 plus birds
Okay.
are in our forest right now.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Wow. Okay. And how is the gross national happiness measured?
Yeah, actually, it was measured through like it's yes, I know that it's like a individual interest actually. So, for
Right.
example, what our uh, His Majesty said, to gain the GNH,
Hmm.
we should be happy inside our family first,
Hmm.
and then from there to nearest, and then nearest to like inside the countries,
Yes.
and after that, then in nearest countries.
Hmm.
So it's very important for us to, uh, to uh, one side we said like to be friendly with each other. Happiness should be there in between us itself first.
And I guess is this coming more from the religion side, or is this more just, I guess, a spirit, I would say,
Now, it's actually the idea of our fourth king.
right?
Present, we have like fifth king,
Hmm.
and it's our fourth king's idea because when he was 16 years old
Hmm.
and our third king was passed away, and he was just 16 at that time. He had to take over the throne.
Mhm.
So that he took over the throne in when he was 16, and he went to, I think, to attend the UN meeting, general meeting.
Mhm.
So when coming back from the from meeting in India, that time we don't have like a good roads in Bhutan. In actually, roads came to Bhutan in 1960s,
What what
1960s.
ca- what came
Road
into
R
Bhutan? Sorry?
R O
Roads.
A D road, yeah, came to
Roads like
Bhutan
for
in 19.
cars.
Yes, cars for
Okay.
the cars, the trucks,
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it came in Bhutan in 1960s by the help of Indian government.
But when you say roads, you mean like roads with tar and that sort of thing. There would have
Yes,
been
yes,
dirt roads,
yes,
of course, before.
yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes, yes. It was helped by the Indian government.
Mhm.
And then uh, after that, our king actually went for the meeting in UN and coming back from UN, and he was landed up in Kolkata, India.
Mhm.
So that when he just arrived in the airport, there was a journalist actually asked him, "What is the GDP of Bhutan?" And he replied, "In Bhutan, we don't have GDP, but we have G and H." So he was 16 at that time. He just spoke out. And from
16.
there, yeah, at that time he was 16. It was like 1974 or something, yes.
Yeah.
And the tourism, 1972. Actually, the tourism came to Bhutan in 1974,
Right.
1974.
Mhm.
And till 1974, Bhutan was isolated from other countries. Only
Right.
India knows there is Bhutan.
Right.
Even China doesn't know there is Bhutan. But whole now, the whole world, even some countries, they doesn't know where is Bhutan still now, because we're
Yeah.
like very tiny and we have only like 700,000 populations in Bhutan only.
Mhm.
So we are very tiny,
Yeah.
small population, and rich in culture, and we
Yes.
are Buddhist actually. We are Buddhist,
Mhm.
okay?
Tell me
And
more about the. Sorry. Tell me more about the culture there.
so the culture actually, uh, how to explain?
How can I explain?
How can I explain? Okay, how can I explain? Okay, uh, culture actually it was came from generation to generation, passed to family,
Sure.
parents to children. Yeah, and then firstly, what we do is spiritual during the ceremonies.
Right.
Okay, ceremony and like most important thing in our culture is to respect the elder one.
Okay.
So, if, for
That's
example,
that's all elderly people, is it?
yes, 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 elder people, and even we respect to the younger one also.
Okay.
When we speak, we never say that you, okay, you. We always say in polite way.
Yes.
We always speak in polite way with them, and even they give a respect back to us, the younger
But
generation.
and is the respect like how is the respect shown? Because I know in like you were mentioning there, like the words that I know in other languages as well.
Mm.
There are certain words and pronouns that are used to show the respect. But is it only
Mhm.
through the use of language, or is it also in gestures and the way that people act and are?
Yeah, even it's true from the words and also the gestures. The way when we speak, we used to move our hands.
Hmm.
So even there is the way to move our hands, how to
Hmm.
show, how to take off our hand, how to put where and there. So there is kind of a like culture in Bhutan actually. Yes, and like
Okay.
if you come to the food, culture food, so you might be surprised. In Bhutan,
Hmm.
people they eat breakfast like a rice and lunch also rice, dinner also
But only
rice.
only rice. If it was only rice, I would be
Yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
But
Of course, there is with Rice, we have like suja, butter tea. Suja means butter tea. And
Uh-huh.
with butter tea, we have sometimes we make like a chili paste
Okay.
or like ematasi, chili cheese.
Chili cheese.
Yes, it's a culture actually. It's a very, very good. I mean to say curry, chili cheese,
Okay.
very
Okay.
very hot. But one thing I have to explain you, it makes trouble after eating that. First it burns
Hmm.
our mouth and then stomach and add like our where we pass through.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah,
I guess it's good in some ways because it is working the body. It's giving the body
yeah,
inside a
yeah,
workout.
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
that's a perspective, I guess. So.
Yeah. So if I talk about more about our fourth king,
Hmm.
he is very, very good king. I'm not saying that other kings also not good, but they are good. But he actually developed the country. Fourth king actually developed the country. Third king actually he tried to develop, but at the age of 44, 45, he passed away
Hmm.
of third king. And the fourth king actually he was 16 and he tried to develop the country.
Do
So
you
in like
mean in terms of infrastructure?
yeah, infrastructures and everything, yes. Yes, and schools, health facilities, and you might be
Hmm.
surprised the health facilities in Bhutan is completely free.
Okay.
And
That's well.
also
That's
education also free.
is that for all levels of
Yeah,
education?
all levels like till up to 12th grade, till up
Hmm.
to 12th grade is free. And
Up
after
to
12,
12.
yeah, 12th grade. So after 12th grade, what they have to do is, they have to attend one exam. It's like a what called it government exam. It was
Okay.
conducted by the Minister of Education.
Yes.
So every student have to attend that exam, and they have some criteria, okay, to
Hmm.
fulfill some grade to go to the other level, like to do the graduation. So if they
So
did not,
sorry, that's just to graduate from the 12th grade, or is that
yeah,
to get into university?
to university. I mean to say
Okay.
university. Yes, yes. So if they didn't get that point, and then
Hmm.
of course they have to do some training, like any
Hmm.
kind of training, and then they are provided the jobs. But if I talk about jobs, since we are a small country, our economy is very small, and it's very
Hmm.
difficult to provide jobs to the student, to the yeah, I mean to say students. So what nowadays the students they are doing after graduating from grade 12,
Hmm.
most of them they are going to Australia,
Okay.
Canada, USA, UK, so they can work and study.
Okay.
So even our government they supported those students who
Hmm.
are going outside Bhutan.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this is actually our fourth king, his idea to do such things in Bhutan.
Yeah. Do you think the because the impression I got is that you do the studies up until you 12, and then there's
Hmm.
a big exam
Yes,
to graduate and then maybe get into university. Like one
yes,
big
yes,
exam. Is that right?
yes, yes, yes,
What
yes.
what what do you think of that? Do you think that's a good way of doing it or not?
That's actually a good way. That's actually a good
Yeah.
way. Yes,
Why is that?
because it will give good knowledge to the students. So
Hmm.
otherwise, if they don't have such exam, I don't think they'll concentrate. What called the concentration or concentrate, right?
Hmm.
They'll concentrate on their studies and all. So if such exam is there, of course they'll concentrate on the studies. They try to research. They try to
Yeah.
do their project works in time, everything in time. When they submit that project work, then they'll get some marks from there also.
But how?
So,
Oh, okay. So they do get marks from what they did before.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes,
okay, okay. That's
yeah.
well, because I was thinking they just do all their studies and then there's a final exam, and that's the final
Ah,
exam is the one. And I always have an issue with that, because I always think there's more than one way to test, and if you only test through an exam and a
Yeah,
big exam at the end,
yeah,
I always think it's perhaps slightly unfair, and you're not capturing the people who don't
hmm
do well in exams. Maybe
yes, yes,
people excel in other ways, like you mentioned, say with different projects,
yeah,
perhaps working in a group doing a project or working by themselves on a project.
yeah,
People
yeah,
do really well. But
yeah.
if someone says, "Oh, we're doing an exam," they may not be able to focus and that sort of thing.
Yes, yes, it's true. Yes, yes. So they have certain marks, which
Mm.
including their big exam.
Yes. Okay.
So from there also like almost like 60-70% will get in the universities, graduation or university. So
Hmm.
rest what they do is some they go to India for studies. As I said, some go to Australia, UK, Canada, like
Hmm.
USA. So
Have,
actually the
have, no, sorry. Go ahead.
yes, sir, please carry on, please.
No, I was going to say, have you been abroad?
Sorry, no, not yet, not yet. I
Not
studied
yet.
till
Okay.
studied till up to 10th grade, and I got a responsibility to do such things, And then I just dropped out from 10th grade, and then I became like a. Firstly, I joined in one of the travel agent in Bhutan.
Right.
Okay, I worked as like a tracking staff.
Hmm.
I did a lot of tracks, like Himalayas, stayed in the camps and all. After that,
So
then
going on the treks and the
mountainside,
tours
yeah,
as a
mountainside with
guide
the tourists.
or
No, not a guide. At that time, I'm not a guide. I don't have any
okay,
experience at that time. I'm just working as a staff, like
like
helpers for the
but
cooks, and as a waiter,
oh,
as I said, as a waiter, yes, as a waiter.
okay.
So I did a lot of trekkings, climbing up to the 5,200 meters, walking down, climbing up, and then after like 7 years, then I did my guiding course.
Hmm.
So which is almost like 45 days.
Yes.
So I did a culture guiding course firstly.
Yes.
Then I did some, I just lead some group. Then after 2 years, then I did my trekking course again.
So you led the group, and then you had to do another course.
Yes, for the trekking, we had to do the special course again.
Okay.
So I did that course also. And after
Is
that, then
it
I did
sorry?
lot of
Is it tracking or trekking that you're doing? I
tra-
assume it's trekking.
trekking. Yes, trekking.
Trekking. Let's move that up. Trekking, yeah.
Ye-
Because
Yes,
tracking is a different thing. Tracking is more
yes,
when
track.
like you're looking for something and you're trying to
Ah,
find
yes,
the tracks of something.
yes,
Like
yes, track.
maybe particularly like if there's something missing or a person missing or something, they will look
Hmm
for trackers to try and
hmm
find the path that perhaps the person went or something.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, yes.
And,
So
and
how can
what's
I pronounce?
the
Sorry,
sorry?
excuse me. How can I pronounce this? Tracking or
Trekking. It's like an eh, eh. Instead
eh?
of
Okay,
ah,
tracking. Oh,
eh,
oh, okay,
trekking,
okay.
trekking.
Tracking. Okay, tracking. Okay, okay.
And so what are the main responsibilities that you have as a guide compared to before when you were just helping?
It's a big responsibility for the guides in Bhutan.
Mhm.
We are representing our country.
Sure.
So everything should be in a discipline in Bhutan, especially for the guides. And
Mhm.
then what we have to do is, every time we have to now advise our clients that, in Bhutan, normally when they visit the temples, they are not allowed to take pictures inside the temples.
Mhm.
And sometimes the clients, they don't agree that. And
Mhm.
we have to explain them like anyhow, some they doesn't listen to us and they try to take pictures.
Mhm.
And it's very risky for us. We may lose our job.
Mhm.
Some
We
clients,
may lose our jobs. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. It's, and then like going as a trekking staff is little bit easy. The daytime, we can walk whole day, and like evening side around 3 4, we'll just reshare the camp before the clients. We will fit all the tents, pitch up all the
Mhm.
tents and kitchen tents, toilet, everything, and we have
Mhm.
to like prepare hot waters for them.
Mhm.
It's actually the easy job for us to do, like a guide.
How, how how big are the groups?
It depends. Sometimes there will be like more than five, sometimes like a 10, 15,
Mhm.
you know, and
Is
sometimes
there
like
a ratio, like a maximum ratio that you can have?
mm,
Do you know what I mean?
yes, I'm not sure, but if I talk about yearly, for the trackers,
Mhm.
yearly we have like more than like 1,000, maybe like 1,000. Yes,
But I mean a ratio in terms of like per trek when you go. Like, is there a limit? Um,
not not really, not really.
like for example, like one guide for every 10 people or 20 people or whatever it may
Uh,
be. Like, or can you have like a group of 50 and one guide, or if you have 50 you need at least three guides or something
no,
like
it
that?
will be like this, till up to 5 persons, there will only one guide.
Okay.
So like 8, 10, we have two guides, one leader
Mhm.
and one guide. Okay. And after that, 10 to 20, we have like a one leader, two guides.
Mhm.
So it depends on the groups.
Sure,
It depends
sure,
on group. Yeah.
sure. Okay. So let's we need to finish this up soon. But tell me what are your the things you want to achieve and do with learning English, and what are the things you want to develop at the moment with your English skills?
This is actually a good question. I want to develop my English, as you know, that when I speak, so sometimes I make a mistake over there.
Hmm.
And I just want to issue because now I have my own like a tour agent. So when
Hmm.
I do the email, at that time also I'm getting a lot of confusion. So I
Sorry,
just want to
you have a tour agent, like
yes,
a
yes, I do have, I do have.
or you are the tour agent.
I'm a tour agent.
Okay, okay.
I'm a tour agent, and I have to do a lot of corresponding with the
Hmm.
clients, and at that time I'm getting a lot of confusion.
Hmm.
So that is why I just want to improve my English, and then like
What sort of confusion is there about what things?
especially like grammar and spelling.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah,
in terms of confusion, I'm
yeah,
imagining more in terms of what the client or customer is understanding,
yes, yes.
and well, like in what type of sort of communications is there that problem? Like, or do you have an example of maybe you wanted to say one thing, but they understood another thing?
Uh, Now normally, when I say that about what to say now, when I try to explain them about for example, the monastery. Okay,
Hmm.
when I try to explain them about the monastery, and then there are lots of things inside. So some words are very complicated for me. For example, like if I say like uh, concentrate.
Hmm.
For example, I say sometimes I say like concentrations.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
just want to improve those everything. I just want to improve
Okay.
everything. Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. This is my own feeling and belief, I guess, with a lot of the things that people who are learning speaking have, or learning English have, or learning any language, I guess, is that there's, I guess, two different values for mistakes, or say
Okay.
mistakes. I
Mhm.
think you can have, like you say, maybe there's some grammatical errors, and a lot of the things, say, for example, that I've noted today,
Mhm.
these are all sorts of very minor errors, yeah, and these are just sort of notes, let's say.
Mhm.
Um, but in terms of from what I've had for the majority, is there's no misunderstanding. And I think it's with any sort of communication, it's a two-way street, we would say, a two-way
Okay.
street. So while you're giving the information, the other person should be trying to receive the information. It's the responsibility, I think, of the person giving to try and give it in a way that the other person can understand, but it's also the responsibility of the other person, the listener, to
Mhm,
try and understand the way
mhm.
that it's given. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes not easy. It can depend. But I think we worry a lot about some minor grammar mistakes and things like that, and a little bit of pronunciation mistakes. I think if the message is able to be received, there's not a big problem. It is, like you say, if it's a problem where they misunderstand something, or they understand something completely different, or the opposite is the worst
Mhm,
case
mhm.
scenario, I guess. That's more of the problem, I think, in terms of effective communication
Yes,
that we
yes.
have. So that's certainly something we can work on. So so we're live streaming this, but I like to have the complete process as much as possible included. And so, because this is a natural experience, if you like, these are normal
Mhm,
things that people would have to do.
mhm.
So, where I am, the time is now 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Oh,
And there, I believe it's around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that correct?
yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. So, how about we let's say we schedule another class,
Mhm,
obviously for the future.
mhm.
What day and what time are you available?
As I said, I'm 24 hours free and anytime,
Hmm.
So whenever you're free,
Okay.
then you can just, yes, you can. Yeah.
Well, how about um, we have another conversation tomorrow?
Yeah,
So
sure.
that'll be at 3 p.m.
Yeah, sure, sure,
Bhutan time, and that'll be
sure.
10 o'clock my time, and
Okay.
we'll have a chat.
Okay,
And
sure.
I would like you to, if you can, just either think about or try and prepare some of the things that you might need to uh, say to people or explain to people
Mhm.
that when you're visiting different places and doing different things. So,
Okay,
in
sure.
a sense, you can practice with me, particularly the things that you find more difficult to explain or to say, or you're not sure about the way that you're
Okay, sure.
explaining.
Sure, sure, sure.
Ergen, do you have any questions for me?
Right now, I think I don't have much question. Maybe from tomorrow, I may have some questions to you.
Okay.
So you said your name is Christ, right? Christ?
Chris,
Yeah,
that's
Chris.
right.
Chris. Okay. Yeah.
All
So thank
right.
you very much, Chris.
Thank you very much. You've been the first student on here, so I appreciate your time and coming on, and we'll have a chat tomorrow. Have a
Yeah,
great
sure.
day.
Sure. Same to you.
All
Okay,
right.
bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. If you would like to come on and join one of the classes, at the moment we're starting with individual classes, one-to-one classes, and then later we may do some more groups and that sort of thing. But if you'd like to participate, send us an email. Chat on lessonjigsaw@gmail.com is the email address. We're also on different social media. Of course, we're on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find us as well. So we're just beginning. And if you'd like to be part of the journey here, and hopefully we can help lots of people improve their English, and feel more comfortable speaking English and practicing English. So if you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome. And please do subscribe to the channel as well. All right. Thank you very much. Take care, and we'll see you later.